Did Selena Gomez just throw shade at Justin Bieber on TikTok? The singer's recent TikTok video had fans flooding her comment section with comments about Justin, and while some are saying they'd love to see Selena poke fun at her ex, others couldn't help but notice the irony in Selena's video and are now also calling her out for posting that. So what exactly did Selena say about her toxic relationship with Justin? We have all the tea, so stay with us, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more breaking celeb news. It's been over 3 years since Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber broke up, but somehow their toxic relationship is still making headlines. Justin and Selena's highly publicized on and off romance lasted for 8 years, and after many drama-filled breakups and makeups, Jelena finally ended things for good in May 2018. And although Selena never badmouthed Justin in public, she did reveal that being in a relationship with him took a serious toll on her mental health. The last few years of the relationship were particularly bad for Selena. Not only did she have to deal with Justin's embarrassing behavior, wild party lifestyle, and legal problems, but she was also constantly scrutinized by the tabloid media.
Selena, have you talked to Justin? You think he should change his lifestyle?
And the only thing worse than the tabloids were Justin's obsessed fans who never missed a chance to attack Selena on social media and blame her for Justin's issues. The hateful comments got even nastier after Justin married Hailey Baldwin because Justin's stans started comparing Hailey to Selena. After Justin recently defended his wife against online trolls, Selenators clapped back and said it's funny how Justin never bothered to defend his ex-girlfriend of 8 years, despite knowing full well his fans treated her horribly. One of Selena's fans recently pointed out how Selena dealt with xenophobic green card and deportation jokes, death threats, body shaming, her mother's miscarriage, being laughed at, and her lupus and kidney transplant being made fun of by Justin's fans for years, and he was crickets the whole time. But his wife has it so hard? Right. Well, is it any surprise Justin's fans behaved this way when Justin himself spent years disrespecting Selena? In fact, most Selenators knew that Justin was bad news from the start. But did Selena know? The first red flag was Justin's 2011 paternity scandal, which took place shortly after Selena and Justin went public. A 20-year-old woman named Mariah Yeater claimed Justin was the father of her child and filed a paternity suit against him. Justin, who was 17 at the time, threatened to countersue, and the case was eventually settled out of court. And although it turned out Justin was not the father, Selena was reportedly mortified and felt like she couldn't trust her boyfriend anymore. I mean, can you blame her? The couple split in November 2012, and at that point, Justin had already started making headlines with his reckless behavior, which included getting cited for dangerous driving and vomiting on stage. Justin's cringy behavior knew no bounds, and he desperately tried to project a tough guy persona, throwing temper tantrums in public and lashing out at the paparazzi.
What did you say? You heard what I said, man. What'd you say? You heard what I beat the fuck out of you. Lose your belt. Who you are. Lose your
So what did Selena do? Well, for some reason, she thought Justin deserved another chance, so she took him back. In April 2013, Selena traveled to Oslo, Norway to be with Justin during his tour, and a source told People magazine at the time that the couple was holding hands, hugging, and kissing. But despite Selena giving him another chance, Justin kept embarrassing her in public. In April 2013, the singer found himself in hot water after he said he hoped the Holocaust victim, Anne Frank, would have been a believer. Then, in November that same year, Justin was charged with vandalism in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, after he illegally sprayed graffiti. Things kept going from bad to worse, and in January 2014, one of Justin's neighbors in Calabasas, California, accused Justin of throwing eggs at his house and causing thousands of dollars of damage. The singer was later charged with one misdemeanor count of vandalism and sentenced to pay $80,900 in restitution, serve 2 years probation, complete 12 weeks of anger management, and 5 days of community service. But Justin was just off the rails at that time, and he kept stirring up controversy wherever he went. On January 23, 2014, he was arrested for the first time in Miami Beach, Florida on suspicion of driving under the influence, driving with an expired license, and resisting arrest without violence. According to the police, Justin confessed that he had consumed alcohol, smoked marijuana, and taken prescription drugs. After Justin's highly publicized arrest on the DUI charges, more than 270,000 people petitioned the White House to deport him to Canada and revoke his green card. But this was far from the end of Justin's troublemaker phase. The following summer, a video emerged of 15-year-old Justin telling a racist joke and using the N-word multiple times.
There'll be one less lonely. There'll gonna be one less lonely.
Meanwhile, things again seem to have cooled off between Justin and Selena was spotted getting cozy with actor Orlando Bloom. Justin reportedly flew into a fit of rage when he saw pictures of Selena and Orlando, and a source close to the former couple explained at the time that Justin and Selena's drama always starts because they don't trust each other. It all culminated in July 2014 when TMZ leaked a video of Justin and Orlando throwing punches at a restaurant in Ibiza, Spain. But Selena obviously didn't think there was anything wrong with Justin acting like a jealous lunatic, because shortly after the news of the fight broke, she took him back. Again. Of course, the romance was short-lived because Justin just couldn't get his act straight, and Selena broke up with him again in the fall of 2014 after Justin started getting cozy with Kendall Jenner behind Selena's back. Shortly after the breakup, Justin shared a video apologizing to his fans for his past behavior, and it really looked like he had finally found a way to deal with his issues.
Didn't want to come off arrogant or conceited, or basically how I've been acting the past year and a half.
In the meantime, Justin was spotted hanging out with Hailey Baldwin, and rumors started circulating that Justin had decided to move on from Selena. However, it quickly turned out that Justin hadn't really changed like he claimed in his apology video, and during 2015, he was reportedly hanging out with both Hailey and Sofia Richie, while at the same time trying to get close to Selena again. In August 2016, Justin and Selena got into a war of words on Instagram after Justin lashed out at fans who called him out for hanging out with multiple girls. Selena then clapped back and commented on one of Justin's IG posts, "If you can't handle the hate, then stop posting pictures of your girlfriend. It should be special between you two only. Don't be mad at your fans." And after Justin retaliated by accusing Selena of using him for attention, Selena once again fired back, revealing that Justin had cheated on her multiple times during their relationship. But wait, why did she take him back then? We're not sure whether Selena was just following her heart or she willingly chose to ignore the obvious, but the fact remains that she gave Justin more chances than he deserved. After she broke up with The Weeknd in late 2017, Selena once again shocked her fans by rekindling her romance with Justin. Of course, this toxic reunion couldn't last for too long, and Justin and Selena broke up for good in May 2018. To top it all off, Justin got engaged to Hailey Baldwin almost immediately after he and Selena broke up, and Selena later wrote an emotional ballad, "Lose You to Love Me," accusing Justin of replacing her in just 2 months. It took Selena years to admit to herself and her fans that Justin treated her horribly. In her January 2020 interview with NPR, she finally opened up about just how toxic her relationship with Justin was, and she even revealed she experienced emotional abuse. But it looks like Selena has finally healed and found a way to poke fun at herself for letting Justin disrespect her for so long. Sel recently posted a video of herself lip-syncing to another popular TikTok about ignoring red flags in relationships and simply captioned it, "Sis."
So you're telling me that you can read his astrological birth chart, but you can't read the red flags? Sis.
Of course, the fans are convinced Selena was throwing some subtle shade at Justin, and probably herself as well, because as one fan put it, she's the queen of ignoring red flags. Another person commented, "Vesty, his name started with a J." Many Selenators also pointed out how great it is to see that Selena is finally in a healthy place where she can joke about her ex without any bitterness. One person said that nobody should judge Selena for giving Justin so many chances because she understood enough about love to have stayed with him despite his issues, and that speaks a lot about who she is. She may have been insecure in many instances, but honestly, is there anyone who isn't? The fan said, adding that if Justin had married Selena, he would have to spend the rest of his life making up for what he admittedly did to her. Fortunately for her, this Selenator wrote, she gets to spend time with herself, allowing the broken parts of herself to be mended. Hope he eventually gets to a healthy place himself. Selenators also defended Selena from social media users who made fun of her for ignoring red flags and pointed out how she obviously did recognize them, and that's why she eventually ended things with Justin for good. One Selenator wrote, "People were outright rude in the comments, saying she ignored the red flags with Justin. Like, duh, that's why she grew from it. Obviously, she won't want to make that mistake again." So now we want to hear your opinion on Selena's recent TikTok content. Was Selena really the queen of ignoring red flags when she was dating Justin? Why do you think she put up with his antics for so long? Leave your comments down below.